Hello, you're welcome to the Fixers Show. Hello, you're welcome to the Fixers Show. Hello, Team Fixers. You're welcome to a brand new episode of the Fixers Show. My name is Deborah Doche, aka The Fixer, and I'm streaming from the beautiful city of Accra, Ghana. If you're just joining me, let me know where you're watching me from. Type your location in the comment section. If you're going to be watching this as a live, tag hashtag live. And if you're going to watch this as a replay, tag hashtag replay. Today is a great day on the Fixer Show. I'm not only excited because it's a very good episode. I'm excited because today two of my favorite teams are playing. I am a Cameroonian by nationality. That's the Indomitable Lions. And I'm a Ghanaian by marriage. That's the Black Stars of Ghana. You see, today I'm wearing white because I'm neutral. I don't want a problem. I don't know who to support, whether to support my home country or my country by marriage. But either way, good luck to the Indomitable Lions. And Cameroon said, we go take the cup. Please, Ghanaians, it's just a slogan. Don't be angry with me. So good luck to both teams. Let the best man win. We just started the tournament, so anything can happen. Thank you so much. I want to say I'm grateful for your support. Thank you for liking, for sharing, for commenting, and for watching all of our broadcasts. I'm so grateful. I have my diehard fans and followers that have been following me from the day I started. I want to say kudos to Madam Young. She's my greatest fan, my own mother, all the way in Texas or in Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for backing me up, for being there and always watching and commenting. I only say thank you so much. So today we are talking relationship-related suicide. And our topic for today is a failed relationship worth it? Is it worth committing suicide? And to go or to further in this discussion, I'm going to be talking with my co-fixer. Her name is Angry Rose Tabi. I call her Dr. Rose. She's my professor. So I'll be bringing her in so that we can have this discussion. Don't go anywhere. You are welcome to the Fixer Show. Like I said today, we are doing relationship-related suicide. And like I said, I'm bringing in my guest.
Oh.
Her name is Dr. Rose, Professor Rose. You are welcome. You are welcome to the Fixer Show. And
thank you,
this month we have been discussing relationship-related suicide. And we have dealt a couple of cases. We talked, there was a lady in Malawi that committed suicide. She hung herself, apparently, because her partner said he didn't want her and he got somebody else. And also, we have this lady in Nigeria. She jumped off the lagoon. She jumped into the lagoon.
Yeah, she jumped into the lagoon.
Yes, after she had
I read that pathetic story.
Yes, after she had a heated conversation with her boyfriend. That is the argument with this man. What is that the name, sir? The driver said that she had an heated argument with the fiance, and immediately after she dropped the call, she just got out of the taxi and jumped into the lagoon. The one I posted on the page, that was yesterday, talks about a final year student of the Federal Polytechnic, Oko Orumba North local area of Anambra. He says he reportedly committed suicide. According to the Daily Trust, the deceased allegedly took his life on Friday, November 8th, for your birthday. Now he decided to kill himself.
I didn't imagine.
Because his girlfriend jilted him. According to a source, the young man, on whose identity is yet to be revealed, allegedly took sniper after his lover told him to look for another girl. Sniper apparently is a poisonous substance. Then he says that Yeah, a student of the institution, Ike described the deceased as someone who was full of energy and life. He was in his IT days a student of public administration. They say he decided to stay in Oko for 1 year on an industrial attachment training, but instead of focus on his training, he decided to search for love. Orji said.
How does that sound? That sounds horrible.
Instead of him to focus on why he was doing his industrial attachment, he decided to focus.
To search for love.
Before we even continue with the discussion, today apparently Cameroon and Ghana are playing in the World Cup. And me, I am a Cameroonian and I'm also a Ghanaian. So I decided to be neutral. I don't want problem. But all they say, we go take the cup. We go take the cup. All they say, we go take the cup. Please, my Ghanaian followers, it's just a slogan. No, don't berate me. We go take the cup is a slogan in Cameroon. Okay, so now, Rose, today we're talking is a failed relationship worth committing suicide?
Nothing is worth committing suicide. Nothing. Talk less of a failed relationship. It isn't. I am not trying to sound insensitive, okay?
Yeah.
But it still beats my mind why someone will go to the extent of killing themselves.
Okay.
Simply because they were rejected in a relationship.
Okay.
And yes, I still, but it can happen. Yeah, okay, it has happened. Like it has happened in these cases. And that, I think we want to now dig to find out what's going on. What will push someone to that extent?
Yeah.
We've had people commit suicide for really, really, really stupid reasons. And a failed relationship is not a minor thing.
Yeah.
Because why a lot of people have committed suicide for really foolish things, yes.
Yeah.
So maybe I think we should just examine it. Let's talk about it and see what's going on.
Okay. So
but I do agree. I do agree that people act irrationally when they are rejected or after a breakup. I've seen quite a lot of people act really irrationally. For that, I can vouch for those ones. But for suicide, it's a little bit difficult for me to really grasp,
to comprehend.
It,
I understand that.
Yes,
to comprehend why somebody will commit suicide, because when you look at some of the comments under the post and the other post of suicide, you get people saying, "Oh, I can never commit suicide. Oh, I can never kill myself because of another person." Somebody would say that, "Thank God you didn't want me. Yes, I moved on. I counted my losses. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Whatever it is that you didn't see in me, and you probably thought you were going to get it in another person, and the person moves on to probably another relationship or better himself or improve himself, or doesn't take it personal. Let me use it that way. Doesn't take it personal that there must be something wrong with me, or that's why the person doesn't want me, or why the relationship failed. Because in the case of Mary and this particular guy in the Polytechnic, is jilted, because the guy left Mary for another guy, another lady, and this lady left this guy for another man. So that's like a discussion we are having, and you asked me a pertinent question. Is it that people cannot handle rejection, or is it the way that the people terminate the relationship that actually is the reason, or one of the reasons why people will go to extremes of taking their life? So what do you think? Is there even let me say this before you come in. Is there even an ideal way of ending a relationship?
There really isn't. We can only make suggestions.
Okay.
We can only make suggestions on how to break up. But as dynamic and as different as people are, we really cannot have an exact prescription. For each relationship, we might want to examine how the relationship is. And some people really don't expect certain reactions when they break up with someone. We generally desire that people break up because people are of different temperaments, people are of different strengths, people are of different approaches in life. And since there's no straight way to break up, one of the challenges we have to do is deal with is not being able to give a direct, a prescription on how to break up, because some people, no matter how much you even apply those prescriptions, the outcome will always be the way it will always be the way it is, because for the cases involved, or these cases we're looking at, I don't know if it's because they moved to someone else, or I really don't know.
Yes,
I don't know whether it's because someone else is taking what they feel and
the emphasis, like the story of Mary, it says that they say the last tweet that Mary wrote was, "We were meant for each other." That was her last tweet. And after she broke up with the guy, she went into depression, and she was actually going through therapy. But probably it got to a point where she couldn't take it, so she hung herself. But it says that the guy left her for another woman. And it says this lady left jilted. They even use the word jilted. I don't know if it's a language from the blogger, the language the blogger used.
Whatever, jilted.
Yes, it jilted, left, or everything. So it brings to bear the issue of let's examine the fact that of the opinion that, okay, there cannot be a straight way if I don't want somebody in a relationship. And I can say that for a fact, that there are certain issues, there are certain things that happen that is beyond a person's control. Because if somebody is in a relationship with somebody and the person meets another person in a relationship, it's like a light bulb moment in the person's life, and the person wants to savor this new relationship, this person that he or she has discovered seemingly may have the same things about the person, they may have the same kind of ideals, they may have the same way they reason, the way they look at the outlook of life. And this other person that they seemingly were in a relationship with tends to look like a stumbling block, tends to look like somebody that wants to stop them from being in another relationship. And with situations like that, the person may not come out plain to say that I'm no longer interested in the relationship, or I found somebody else. The person may, like you said the last time we talked, the person can ghost you, the person can block you on all social media platforms, the person may not want to have communication, and the person should assume, or the person would assume that you should understand that when I'm doing these things, it means I am no longer interested in the relationship. And the person is like, oh, I want you to be able to give me a straightforward answer. Are you still in this relationship, or you're not in this relationship, so that I can count my losses and go? But because probably the person may not be able to face, quote and unquote, for whatever reason, being afraid, acting as a coward, or whatever it is, could not approach, and you ghost the person, and that the person kind of feels hurt, especially if the person, let me put quote and unquote, has invested whatever form of investment in the relationship. So is there a way, Rose, somebody can say, okay, I can make it painless for the person?
No. One thing which I know is that breakup will always, unless you didn't love, or unless you had no feelings for the person, there's never going to be any breakup that won't hurt. Okay, there won't be any, no matter how gently you go about it, except the other person.
Is it the hurt you're talking about? Is it from the person that has been, that the person who is going to be at the other end of the breakup?
Yes, at the other end of the breakup. Even for those of us who want to break up, let me call myself the breakee and the breaker.
Yes.
Okay, the breakee and the breaker. The breaker, the one who is breaking up, and the breakee who is receiving the breakup.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. It's equally not easy for certain people to break up with others. That's why most of you hear a lot of people ghost somebody, because they can't face the challenge of doing that thing. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts to hurt someone. Yes. Some people can be actually very, very, very insensitive in the way they go about it, like as in they insult you and do that. But for someone who really wants to go and have an official breakup with you, it's difficult. It's not easy. Because it's not easy sitting before someone and saying, look.
Yeah,
it's not easy. For sensitive people like some of us, the times I've had to initiate a breakup have never really been easy.
Okay.
Because I try to put myself in the other person's shoes. I ask if someone
what if I was the one?
That, yes, I'm going to feel bad, you see. But eventually you realize that you staying in a relationship which you really don't want to be there, you end up hurting the person more. The relationship becomes more hurtful.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the breakee hardly gets that. They don't understand that at the moment.
Okay.
That you staying in a loveless relationship is painful. You staying with someone who doesn't like you, who doesn't want you, is a lot more painful.
Painful.
And you are stuck in this relationship. You're not fulfilled, but you close your eyes to a lot of things, and you think you are in a relationship. That's one thing. I want to look at it from this perspective, Fixer Sister. From the perspective of what are our expectations as far as relationships are concerned? Why do we feel entitled to someone's life? We seem to be entitled to someone's decision.
Because of our investment we have made. We have made investment, so we are entitled.
Now you want to look at it in so many cases, or these cases where people are committed suicide. You want to look at it, you will not weigh it as much as the kind of investment you've seen people who have built houses for someone, sponsored someone to school, and they still get killed. They didn't die. They didn't kill themselves for it. Now you get these very sentimental people who carry all their heads and hearts and liver and intestine and put inside a relationship. That one has recipe for cardiac arrest, no? Yeah, and you feel entitled to. Usually, this aspect of pain is that you feel like what you were giving, the person did not give you the same, was not reciprocated.
Yeah.
For me, it's from that level where I feel pain when it comes to someone breaking up with me. I feel like, okay, I wasn't loved the way I thought this thing was between you, and I thought we were on the same page. So I was, so to realize that someone didn't really value you the way you valued them, it's hurtful.
Yeah.
But then, see my dear star, I don't pay so for palava breaking. See, I became ill like that. You know, now you remember, I was not this bulky. Breakup hurts, sweetheart. It hurts.
Okay.
Yeah, that is where I come in with people's ability and the stamina to withstand, the emotional stamina to withstand pain and disappointment.
Okay.
Yes. No matter how much you invested in the relationship, what's your stamina to deal with rejection? What's your stamina to deal with a no? What's your stamina to deal with it's over?
Yeah.
How do you deal with it? Yeah, that's where I want us to talk. I want
to talk about
it.
Okay, yes. If you are just joining us, you're welcome to the Fixer Show. I'm here with my Fixer sister. We are talking so we go take the cup. We go take the cup. Please don't make my Ghanaian fans to come and block me, please.
Ghanaians, please pity me. I'm Cameroonian.
I am half and half. Please don't bring yourself. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome to the Fixer Show. Today we are talking, is a failed relationship worth committing suicide? Is it worth it? Why would a person commit suicide because their relationship failed? Or why do some relationships end up in suicide after they have failed? That's what we are looking at. Yes, Fixer sister, in the fact that because with relationships we are dealing with matters of the heart, definitely it would not be painless. It would be painful, especially if you are putting your body, soul, spirit, and everything into the relationship. Yes, you put everything into the relationship, and you feel at some point you are in between, because you don't know whether this person that you're going to is going to disappoint you as opposed to this person that you have. So you, who is even the breaker, who is contemplating breaking, you are even taking a risk, because what if you're having here is a mirage, and the person is love bombing you and doing all of that, so that you should leave your safe place, you should leave your comfort and come this way, then the person kind of jailed you. But before I was talking, you talked about something very important, and I'm going to say this particular thing concerning myself, and I thought I discussed it with you, about you talking about the ability to be able to handle rejection and all that. I, for one, as a person, like when I went to to Ghana, I didn't have the preparation to handle failure. Do you understand? Because as I grew up, I never failed in class. I never failed an exam. I never failed at anything. I was good at everything I did. And everybody that knew me knew that I was good at everything. So when I went so when I went to Ghana and I couldn't go to the law school because of one or two reasons beyond my control, it kind of destabilized me because I had a plan A. I wrote it in my book. That will be coming up, The Deception of Depression. I had a plan A and never had a plan B. I didn't have what would go wrong. I didn't have at the back of my mind that something might go wrong because I was never prepared for that. I didn't plan for that. I had my life figured out. I had everything planned out. Okay, I'll go to law school, and after 2 years, I'm going to have my law degree. I'm going to be called to the bar, and I'm going to be this hot shot female lawyer heading straight for the top. But when it hit me that I was not going to go to law school, I was disoriented. I didn't know what to do because I didn't have any skill. I have not developed any skill. I don't know anything. I don't know what to do besides
what to do.
Law. Yes, I didn't know that. I didn't know. That's how, because after that particular episode, I would say that I went through depression during that period before I got pregnant and had my daughter, and the depression lingered until I suffered from postpartum. So yes, that led because I couldn't have a grasp of what I wanted to do after I couldn't do what I was supposed to do. I was lost. I can say that for a fact. I was lost. I mean, completely lost. Though I was out like everything, like I didn't remember my parents saying coming back. I began to ask myself, okay, yes, if I come back to Cameroon, what am I going to do? You know, all those kind of things. I said, okay, let me just wait it out. After all, people go out there abroad and they hustle. You know, that was also my first time of leaving Cameroon. I've never been out like out of family. I'm alone in a strange land, not able to go to school. I had all this going on. So I want to situate it with that of a broken relationship, that there are some people that are not prepared. When they get into a relationship, they also have the mind that I had, what could go wrong, you know, and based on what that is transpiring within the relationship or the confines of that relationship, everything seems to be rosy. Nobody is like, you don't know whether the person is going to flip on you or you are going to flip on the person. So you're not prepared for whatever is going to come to you. And when the relationship fails, then you're left like, what am I going to do now? I don't have
another option.
Yes, I don't have another option. This is the person, because I was reading a survey that said that most of the men that committed suicide or who went into mental instability is because they said this, but they had not fostered relationships with other people. That person, that lady or that partner that they had was like their confidant, was the person that they were their gist partner, the person that they were talking to. And they had built this thing around this particular person. And when they
built their world.
Yes. And when the carpet was removed from under them, they went into mental instability, they went into depression, they went into anxiety, they went into stress, they went into drug usage. There was a heightened aspect of drug usage and also rage and anger. So I think, Fixer Sister, what you're saying is very, very important. So now let's look at the issue of how can somebody be prepared for this kind of things?
No, it comes with a healthy perspective of life.
Okay.
Let me put it, a balanced perspective of some realities about our existence as human beings.
Okay.
And one of such realities about our existence is that you will not have everything you want.
Okay.
You can't always have it your own way. Another reality about our existence as human beings is that there are unexpected, don't always be unprepared for the unexpected.
Yeah.
Things don't always go in the straight line. Another reality about our existence as human beings is that you must experience loss.
Okay.
You're going to lose something. You must lose something. I won't find any human being on earth who won't tell you they lost something. Even if you don't lose something, eventually you're going to lose a parent. You're going to lose a friend. You might lose an arm. You lose a job. You lose some money.
Yeah.
You lose friends. There's always loss in this life. Yeah. And for most of those people, you won't tell me that that's their first relationship. For most of them, it's not even their first relationship. They've been there before. And yeah, they've been in relationships. And I'll bet my last point that for a lot of these people who get into suicide, for instance, apart from the fact that breaking could be brutal, you want to check they have unhealthy clinginess emotionally. They cling too tight.
Okay.
They don't know how to let go. They've not been taught this reality about our existence. That's see, it can happen.
Yeah,
it can happen. It's not, no matter how much you do things the right way, really no guarantee that is going to be. The outcome will always be the same.
Yes, what you want.
Let me take for instance. Yes, you get a virgin to tell you, okay, I had a couple recently who came for who I had to handle some counseling. They both married as virgins, got to get pregnant, and their baby came out stillborn or something. They had something, and they're like, "Mama, we kept ourselves for we kept." I'm like, "Yeah, I can't explain. These are things I can't explain." There are people who did not live the life they live, but they're shooting kids everywhere every day. Those are those unanswerable of life, our existence. Those are some existential issues that a lot of people don't come to terms with yet. And I tell you, that's part of growing up. Yes, part of growing up is coming to terms with these things.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Fixer Sister. Who is supposed to? Who is the person who is paramount in telling? Okay, let me say, growing up as a young girl or young boy, who is that person that is supposed to be that prime person that is supposed to be teaching you some of these things? Who is that person, or who are those people?
Your parents. Now, your parents may do the best they do, right?
Okay.
Your parents, basically, home training or whoever is your let me call your significant other. Not everybody's going to have two parents, but whoever brings you up, raises you, has to involve those values in your head. And we find extremes. People who were taught that they could have anything, people who were spoiled, and people who were deprived of so much. These are the two people who tend to have these extremities as far as relationships is concerned. The person who was giving everything they wanted, when they get into a relationship, they expect to have it all. They have this sense of entitlement. You should not turn them down. They are not. If anything should break up in this relationship, it should be me breaking it. Yeah. And for those who are extremely deprived, the moment they seem to get something, they're so tight to it that they actually stifle people.
Yes,
true. They stifle people, and they also can't understand that. Listen. Yeah, you were deprived, but I'm not responsible for your depravity. I had a life to live. I have a right to take a decision. Yes, so that's as far as I can say with who is responsible for that. And basically, even as adults, when we get into a certain level in life, you realize your deficiencies from a childhood. We are responsible to building the capacities.
Yeah, that's empowering yourself.
We are responsible.
Yeah.
Empower yourself. For instance, I grew in a very loving home. I had a dad who doted on me so much. I had a mom who doted on me. So I was used to being pampered. And that's where I got my own shock. Yeah.
What a shock.
What a shock indeed, my sister. They didn't pamper me the way I wanted. I didn't do, or when they dumped me, I almost went bonkers. But then it was not the opportunity for me to begin to learn. I was like, okay, hey, Rose, this life no balance, so you better start to develop stamina. Yes, develop stamina. Prepare yourself for any eventualities. Whatever decisions you take, prepare. Great.
Things may not happen the way you want it to be. There are bound to be some ups and downs, but the issue of preparedness, like I said with my case, I wasn't prepared for failure because I've not been trained to understand that failure can happen in life, and it kind of hampered the way I did a lot of things and how I could gather myself together. But based on what you're saying, I think it's very, very important what you're saying, especially when it comes to handling failed relationships or whatever may cause a relationship to fail. And you gave the issues of those who were over pampered.
Let's look at some. Let's examine some possible reasons why someone is going to will go to the extreme of committing suicide because we were jilted. Let's look at some possible reasons.
You have already said you have already mentioned two reasons. One is that they had all they wanted.
Yeah.
They had, that means like everything that they wanted was given to them, and they don't see any reason why they cannot get what they want in life. So when they are rejected or refused, is a problem. Then you have also the other set of people that were deprived. So when they have something that they have always wanted, they cling to it to the extent that they even want to suffocate the person or suffocate the thing out. They are so clingy that the person even gets suffocated in the process. You understand? So if you are just joining us, this is the Fixers Show. And we are talking relationship-related suicide. And we are definitely now going to look at the possible reasons why a person would contemplate suicide after a failed relationship. If you are just joining us, let me know where you are watching us from. Please type your location in the comment section. And even as the discussion is going on, please share your thoughts. Let us know what you think. Let us know why you think are the possible reasons that a person would commit suicide because they were rejected or jilted by their lover.
Plant my phone. Got it.
So if you're just joining us, you're back on the Fixer Show. I don't know how the match is going. Me, I'm not watching. No, my sister, have you watched? We go take the call.
No,
we'll take the call. We'll take the call. We'll take the call. So I'm not a fan of football though, but I'm just excited about all the excitement.
All the ambiance,
so if you are just joining us, this is a Fixer Show. Today with my Fixer sister, we are talking relationship-related suicide. And we are trying to examine some of the reasons why somebody would go to the extent of committing suicide after a failed relationship. So now, Twinny, talk to me. What do you think could be some of the reasons why someone would want to take their own life?
When you think you've put in your all.
Okay, like all. When you mean all, what is that? What does that even mean? All.
That all may mean anything to anyone.
Okay.
For a lady, for some people, they all may mean I gave you my virginity. You were the first man I let you into me.
Yeah.
You're the first man I loved. That could be some all to someone.
Okay.
So they all to another person. I made you who you are. I gave you a job. I built the house for you.
Yeah.
I practically gave you all of my life. 40 years of my life, I gave it to you, and you do this to me. We have that. So that's why I say, as varied as the reasons could be, it's per individual.
Yeah.
You're gonna find a lady who you ask her, what have you put in this relationship? Because I think there have been issues. There have been times when we've had to handle cases where a lady is threatening that if you leave me, I'll kill myself. You want to ask, what is it you put in this relationship now? Yeah. And I said the guy gave you better ball away, you know one leave Amona. Wait yo, I don't know. You ask, what did she do? What have you put in this relationship? What is it that you're actually to, you know? And you find all of that. So it all could mean anything to anyone.
Okay.
Yes. But so I'm talking of the notion the person has.
Okay.
Is that this is all I've ever had. I'm not going to have any better. How am I going to start? You were everything to me. Yes. Is that extreme.
Okay.
Secondly, why somebody would go to the extent of committing suicide? We have people who are very vindictive.
Okay.
I think you've mentioned anger. You can't handle anger or sadness.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are people who just don't have the emotional stamina to deal with their anger. They get so angry.
Agree.
Yes. And so the only way to get back at you is I'm going to kill myself and you're going to live in guilt forever.
Forever. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you're going to live in guilt forever. I die is going to be on your head.
That means they hold you responsible for their death.
Responsible for what happens to them, yes.
Okay.
And of course, we have the other two we mentioned. People who have never grown to know that you can't have it all. Those people who have been so spoiled all their lives. And people who have been extremely deprived. Yes, these two extreme people. These are the reasons some of them want to commit suicide.
And I think most of it, like, also when you talk to people like clinical psychologists and therapists and all that, they can also talk about the issues of abandonment. What do you think?
Yes, it's that what basically I just put it in lay terms.
Okay.
Basically, what we are dealing with is the attachment principle.
Okay.
And those two issues we mentioned was faulty attachment. So people didn't grow with a balanced form of attachment.
Okay.
So they didn't learn how to be healthily attached to one. You see, so those two is basically I just spoke about the principle of attachment in lay terms. I didn't want to use
so like
the other psychological
we're talking about attachment, abandonment, and also rejection and all that, because some people
of that are entrenched in the principle of attachment. There are various ways attachment is manifested. You see?
Okay.
Yeah. If someone from childhood did not develop well in that aspect, you will not be able to accommodate rejection. You see now?
Okay.
Yes. You will not be able to accommodate rejection. So, or accommodate the fact that you're responsible to have only what you can have. You can't have it all.
Okay, that means that means when that happens in a relationship, is that when that happens, that means there's some sort of a trigger or something that reminds them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't help them build the capacity to deal with rejection.
Okay.
The failure the attachment principle from childbirth, the way they learn to be attached to their significant other is usually attached to a significant other.
Okay.
A parent, a guardian, whoever brings you up.
Okay.
You see, so it is that conditions the human being emotionally to be able to respond in various ways to rejection.
Okay.
And there are even people there are people who have never experienced this love and they don't even know how to accept love. You know that there are people like that, right?
Yes.
The moment they begin to see love, they rather sabotage it. So all these things they're entrenched in the attachment principle. From childhood.
From childhood.
Yes.
Okay, now.
Yes.
What I want us to look at is, let's say that there is somebody watching us right now, and the person or the relationship has failed, and the person is contemplating like, okay, this person was all to me. I gave this person my all. I did this, I did that, and all those things that people use to validate why a relationship failed. And not having a healthy perspective about themselves and looking at, probably it could be my fault that the relationship ended, because there is this movie that I watched. I don't know if you have watched the 50 Shades of Grey and the 50 Shades Free. You remember that Christian Grey had this unique way of his relationships,
expressing love,
having a dominant and being a submissive. And the way he ran, or the way his relationships panned out, it made the women too attached to him, because he gave them a lot of pleasure, or whatever he did to them was very pleasurable. So it kind of made them attached to him. So if you watch, and he is also somebody who had abandonment issues. He had attachment issues, because he got to a point, I remember it's in the 50 Shades Free, that 50 Shades Darker, that Anna asked him that, why do you do all these things? Yes. Why do you need all these things that you're doing? Then
why won't you let me in? I remember the question she asked. Let me in.
She says,
why won't you let me in?
Why do you need all these things to really function? Can't you do relationship normally? Then, because I remember in the 50 Shades of Grey, their relationship ended where he kind of hit Anna, and Anna left.
Yes.
So Anna said that I wanted to know that I wanted to know the extent to which you can go. But what makes me afraid is the fact that you are happy when you're doing it.
Yes.
And he said that Then Anna said, I don't understand this, your need to be dominant and submissive. He says, oh, I'm not a dominant, I'm more of a sadist. I take pleasure in inflicting pain. You understand? Then to women, then Anna said, to women that look like your mother. He said to women that look like you. Then he said to women that look like my mother. That means Christian Grey himself had issues from childhood.
Yeah.
His mother was into crack, into cocaine and all that. And look at how that formed his perspective until he grew up. Behind the scenes, it was still there. Before Elena, Mrs. Robinson, came and brought him into this dominant and submissive kind of thing. But what I'm trying to say, in 50 Shades Darker, there is this lady that comes up. Her name is Layla. And Layla was a submissive or a submissive to Christian Grey. And how did this whole thing pan out? The lady was with Christian Grey and she wanted to take the relationship to the next level. And you know, Christian Grey has attachment issues. He doesn't like to be attached.
He doesn't like to be attached. Yeah.
You know, they do. You don't even touch him. You don't touch him. He asks how you can touch him, where you can touch him, and all those complications. And he said when he did that, the lady left and married another person. And after she married the other person, the man died. So she came back coming for Christian Grey. So when she came back for Christian Grey, she discovered that Anna was already in a relationship with Christian. And she started stalking them. And the reason why I want to bring a point is because this lady stalks Anna. She even had an encounter with Anna that she said, Anastasia. So she turned like, do I know you? She said, oh, no, don't worry, I'm nobody. She even went to the extent of entering their room, seeing them on the bed and doing all those creepy things. So Christian had asked Anna to move in with him. And Anna had to go pick up her stuff. So Anna went to the house to pick up her stuff. And when she was coming, she decided to check her meals. Then when she was standing, she noticed a presence in the room. So when she turned, she saw Layla. And she got scared. She was like, oh, Layla. And she tried to engage Layla in a conversation. And Layla took out a gun. And Hannah panicked. Then she asked a question. She said, Master allows you to call him by his name. Master sleeps with you on the same bed because Christian Grey and he's submissive. They don't sleep on the same bed.
They don't.
Then she said a very important statement that I think a lot of people use when they are rejected. She said, what is it that you have that I don't have? That's a very powerful statement. Because she cannot understand why. She says, you love him. Me too, I love him. But you are having opportunities and preferences that I did not have when I was in a relationship with Christian. That what makes you superior? What makes you different? What makes you better? And she shot the gun up. Anything would have happened at that particular instance. Because probably the lady could not handle, because the thing had become like a mental, the stalking and all that had probably transcended into some mental instability. Before Christian Grey came back, took the gun, calmed her down, and all those things. So when somebody, like you, we are talking about handling rejection, she couldn't understand why the thing happened. Okay, yes, it happened. But you are with somebody else and something else, you seem to be treating the person better. Why am I not good enough? You understand
now,
this kind of things?
Yes. Let me interject from this point. That's where I believe now that those of us whose hearts have been broken, we get it wrong. We ask the questions to the wrong audience. Yes, you can't be asking the other lady, what is it about her that you don't have? That question should be directed to the guy.
But normally now, you always ask yourself the question.
He should be. Now he should be now. But this is where I face, if anybody has been in the world of dating like you and I have been, I think we must have come across this stuff.
Yeah.
Where your guy cheats on you and you begin to wonder, what is it about me that he... And unfortunately...
Am I not enough?
The way advice always goes, people will tell you, you should fix up better, you should do this better, you should, give him this way, dress like this, stuff, blah, blah, blah. Yes. But one thing which I eventually got to realize, and which I tend to share with anyone who is asking, why me, I'm like, we can't determine for sure what the other person wants. What the other person has chosen to accommodate.
Yeah.
You know, we talk this palaver marriage, and sometimes we ask ourselves, why is this guy not going to marry me? But look at what he's marrying. We all have this notion that we are better. There's something about us that's so much better than the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we fail to understand that we are not the ones to determine what the other person really will value. Yes, will value. You may be all bootsy and botsy and all that, but what the guy will need for whatever reason, which is not your responsibility, is found the other lady. And so you deal with your loss and say, okay, well, okay, I may be all beauty and all. You should love me. That's the thing. You should, because I need this and that. And we tend to imagine that the other person will not deserve that man's love because they are not as beautiful as we are. Probably not as intelligent as we are. Yes. So we feel slighted. That's why those questions come up.
Yeah.
But eventually, yes. Now, in that case of Christian Grey and the lady, Christian Grey alone knows what he saw in Anna, because I think one of the things that intrigued me about Anna is that Anna was different, apparently, from all the other ladies. I don't know what made Anna different, but what I know is that there was something Christian Grey saw in Anna, which took her aside from all the other ladies.
Other women,
Yes, her innocence, and her intelligence, or maybe something, or her desire to want to get beyond that. You know, those things. I think those are things that intrigue Christian Grey.
Yeah, Christian.
And it holds exactly for every other person, like women, like men. So if that question, why me? Why not me? He should love me. It's not that you should not direct this to the other target. Unfortunately, that is what we always do.
Yeah.
We go and hit the other target who is not responsible for
our losses.
For what the other, for our losses. There is this movie that is it Instant Proposal? No, not Instant Proposal. Femme Fatale.
Okay.
This movie where this guy went and cheated and he touched this lady. What was his name again? Let's forget about that. I'll get to the movie later. But yes, it's Renee Zellweger's husband. What's Renee Zellweger's husband again? What's his name again?
Michael Douglas. Is it Michael Douglas?
Michael Douglas movie. Yes, Michael Douglas. At this first movie that launched Michael Douglas, where he went and frolicked with this lady out there, and this lady now got obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Started stalking his wife.
And
was almost killing the wife. He had to almost kill her because she needed to have Douglas for herself. Yeah.
So people can go to those extremes.
They do. That's what is scary about relationships, and that is why we need to now begin to understand or check people's minds, people's emotional stabilities or states when it comes to relating. And when there is one of the things, like I told you at the beginning, that we need to, I think a lot of us need to learn, is that there's a thin line between obsession and love. Obsession is not healthy. Obsession is not healthy.
Yeah.
And for someone to have gone to the extent of killing themselves because of love, they were obsessive.
Yeah.
They were obsessive, yes. You were so obsessed with what you had, you couldn't part with it.
Yeah.
And nothing else matters.
And the fact that and another thing with the obsession is that you can't get it back. That even makes it even worse. Because if the person has gone and you try to want to talk the person into coming back, want to come back, and the person says, no, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, those things begin to kick in.
Now, the one question we need to ask, or we need to learn to ask ourselves, is that why do you think this other person must stay with you?
Okay.
Who gave that written law that this person, you are the one the person must stay with?
Probably the person was telling me, you are the one I am waiting for.
Well, they never tell who waiting, no, my friend. What have they not told us? Written poems, songs. Napokona Kumba Road, boy, already are you talk the thing. Well, my entire world caved in because of. But then, when you come to terms with the reality that
probably is what the man was telling her. You are the sugar in my tea. You are the only mosquito in my mosquito net. You are the only cockroach in my cupboard.
Yeah.
And okay, let's talk about people with attachment issues. They probably have not heard all those things, a man loving on them, a man being nice, and they get all comfortable that probably this is how the whole ride is going to be. And these are the things I'm going to be listening to, because of a truth, everybody wants to be in that kind of relationship. And probably now, yes, everybody wants to be in that kind of relationship. But now something happens, and this man, all of a sudden, you think that they have given him jazz somewhere. The lady gave him jazz. So
they gave him jazz.
They gave him jazz. Then he has now left you and gone to this other lady, and you're trying all your possible best. Sometimes you even go to the extent of even going to fight the other lady to leave your boyfriend. You do all those things, and nothing seems to be happening. Like we talk about the entitlement mentality. The person is entitled. It's like, I'm supposed to be with this person. I love this person, and I'm supposed to be with this person. I don't see myself, because the kind of relationship that I and this person share, and the kind of things that we have done or we have been through or whatever, I don't think there is somebody else that can match up to the standard of this person, or to the way this person loves me, or to the way this person takes my nonsense, the person cares for me. The reality sets in, and you see that your world is falling apart right before your very eyes. Not many people are prepared for that. So sometimes, yes, you could enter into a relationship and not have a plan B, and not say that I want.
We don't even need to have a plan B. We don't need to have a plan B. We need to have a healthy perspective of life. That's good. I don't get into a relationship with a plan B.
You don't get into a relationship, but don't you get into a relationship with expectations? You do get into a relationship with expectations.
That is why I keep saying that a healthy perspective of life. As in, of course, I would love to have this guy who looks this way, who's going to treat me this way. Six-pack. Amazing.
Chocolate skin. He should look like he should have the face of Morris Chestnut and the body of Ty Dix.
Yeah.
And the money of Elon Musk.
Now that all in one, of course, we know we won't always have all of that in one, right?
Of course.
Either get 6-pack with no brains, or maybe brains and 1 pack and whatever.
And, you have all that with no money.
With no money.
but definitely you will not get all of that in one package.
Yes. Let's say you get all of it, because sometimes you hear a lady say he was just everything I ever needed in a man.
In a man, yeah.
We still don't have control over when the man will choose to stay with you or not. We don't.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, because truth be told, like, it's true, he treated you the way you wanted to be treated. But now, the moment the guy no longer wants you, you won't still have that same treatment.
Of course.
You're going to be locked up in your own world of what happened in the past.
Yeah.
You get, yes. And strangely enough, many of us over the years, maybe you turn again and look at that guy and you're like, wait till you defend with me. What happened to me?
I know, right? That kind of surprise. I remember Juanita Bynum, Prophetess Juanita Bynum in No More Shit. He said, when you look at it, boy, he had a nose like a pinball.
And even if
he said his teeth was crooked. He said, but his teeth was crooked, you were dating him.
When we did. Okay. Let's say, even if down the line, this guy continues to remain your only one and only love you'll ever have. The fact that you can't force the guy to keep you is enough for you to stay with the good memories you had with the person and move on.
Yeah.
Yes. Stay with the memories of what you had. Say, okay, at least I had a chance. I had a chance. I did part of, at least that's the way I
look at it.
I handled mine, and that's the way I deal with it. And equally, like I said, I keep hitting on a healthy perspective of our existence and life in general. Is that okay? You missed having, or you wouldn't be able to keep that one which was your ideal. But there are always other options you can settle for.
Yeah, you can get in the process.
And just to be happy. Yes, like you and I, we had but look at where we are landing.
Yeah.
Look at where we have landed. We happy with look at where we've landed.
Yeah,
we've chosen to be happy with what we have, right?
Yeah.
And be grateful for what we experienced, with what we thought we could keep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and we'll always have that corner in the heart where we'll regret not having it. But
yes,
it always be there. You will regret. You're going to look longingly at that, but eventually you get to realize that it's a waste of time,
of emotions and all that.
Yes, trying to grab clouds and steam and fog. It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time. Wow.
So yeah, it is.
Hey, I like that. If you're just joining us, we missed the discuss. This is the Fixer Show. We are talking relationship-related suicide, and we are talking some really, really good stuff. So we're about to round up. So how would you advise? What would you advise, or what would your advice be to somebody who is in a failed relationship and is contemplating suicide?
Okay, just everything I've been telling you is not worth it.
Okay.
Babe, guy, hang in there. We many of us who've been there with you, hang in there, just hang on. You're going to see it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Right? It's not worth it. Take your time off to deal with your losses. It's like a business investment. Each time you can plant your corn, but not all the corn will grow out to yield.
Yeah.
Yes. We need to get to that place where we get, like I say, I could tell you, listen, this life, I've said life no get straight life.
Yeah.
Ask every single human being, even if you go and ask Elon Musk, now he will tell you something he still regrets not having in this life.
Yeah.
No matter how much money he has.
He's
going to tell you, see, this. And then just to go to the other side, and maybe we'll talk among ourselves, please. People's heart hurt, please. Let's be conscious of it. Even if we have to break up with someone, okay? I think a lot of us also equally need to work on how we do it.
Okay.
Yes, nobody is forcing. We're not forcing you to must stay with someone because they paid your school fees and stuff like that. But come on, how do you lead the person on until the next day you're going to wed? No.
Yeah. That's being callous.
No, that's being cruel. It's cruel.
Yes.
It's cruel. Yes. So please, if we don't want, I think we should get to a point where we are open enough to talk. It's true. People still won't receive it. Yeah, they won't receive it. Be brave. Say it.
Yeah.
Get maybe one or two persons involved to help you work through that. Yes. Please. I know she won't take it well, but please help me out with this. Talk to the sister or the best friend. Please be with her. Talk to the other guy. Do this gently so that the repercussions won't be always there.
That means the lines of communication should be. You should be able to communicate.
While it is still not guaranteed that some people will not take it badly, but it's at least will reduce the impact.
Yeah.
Yes, it will mitigate the damage if we learn how to break up healthily.
If you tell the person, yes, we've had a good time, but I think that it's not working, probably compatibility-wise. We have drawn apart.
Have a conversation. Have a conversation.
Yeah.
And we've learned to tell people that, okay, before that time, because Pastor Okonkwo said that before someone breaks up with you, he had already broken up with you 6 months ago.
Okay.
Yes, we begin to do that gradually. You withdraw. You begin to, begin to put in those indications that you're not in.
Yeah. But don't totally ghost the person.
No, don't.
And the person starts seeing you. And the person starts seeing you pulling on with another lady, posting her on your status.
That's wrong. No. Before you get there, please set the stage and do a clean break. So that we all go cry in our corners and then we can move in. And truth be told, lastly, you won't always have closure at all levels. There's some people who will never give you an answer to why they dropped you and everything. I speak
of course. That's important. That's true.
Some people will never tell you why.
Even if some people won't tell you why, some people themselves don't even understand why.
They don't. They don't. So
because they will tell you that it's like I really like you. I
like you. Yes,
I like you. It's not like I don't like you. I do, but just something just does not click anymore. Yeah,
it just did not go.
Yes, it's not going on like I wanted to be in a relationship. Yeah. So to me,
you won't always have the answer.
Yeah. To me, like people who are in a failed relationship and they are contemplating suicide, I have this opinion on the fact that, like what the Bible says, that man is like grass. Today he's there, tomorrow he's no more. And the person that you are claiming or clinging to, something might happen to him. He may even lose his life.
Yeah.
He may not be alive. He said, woe is he that put his trust in a man.
Amen.
So, and this man is finite, means he has an end point. He doesn't, nobody knows how tomorrow is going to look like. So probably you talking with him and you turn your back, he had a car accident and he died, or even though he's still with you in the relationship, he had something, he had cancer, he had something. So there is that human aspect, humanness about us that even if the person leaves you, there's no guarantee that tomorrow the person will still be there. So if you see the finiteness of man, and the fact that you as a human being, life is progressive. You understand? I personally did not know I'm going to end up in Ghana. I personally did not know I was going to marry a Ghanaian. But this is me.
Far from me. You were the last person. You were the last person I think who get married
who marry a foreigner, right? And this is me now. I've accepted it. I'm one of those people growing up. Children, to me, is not part of my scheme of work. I knew that I'm going to be that girl that would want to travel the world. I loved my father's job because my father was always traveling country. Always had this perspective that, I will travel the world. And kids are those kind of people that would just want to stop your shine. And I had that.
And there you are now.
With 3 children.
There you are. With 3 lovely hefty kids.
So that's what I'm saying to that person, that life is not a straight line. Life is progressive. Things change. Shit happens. Things can go wrong. But it is left for you not to put that on you. All that negative energy, all that negative vibration, all that negative energy is not what you should put in you and let it consume you to the extent that you think that you don't have a way. There's always a way. There's always a way. They said there are like 8 billion people on the face of the earth. Are you trying to tell me that there is no other person? Yes, you may not have that love that person gave. What if you can have something better than what he gave? Something more. You may not have that.
We don't think that way. We always think we can't have better.
Yes.
And you be stuck. Very often we have better.
Yes. So people get stuck into that phase and wishing that will continue, but not knowing that you can have something better. Moving on. Because like the case of Mary was 24. And I asked myself, what has Mary experienced?
What has she done?
What has she done for her to come to the conclusion that this particular young man is her life, is her soulmate? They were supposed to end life together. Because when I was talking to Coach Emenike from Nigeria, I said, I'm not seeing, she's 24 for crying out loud. If she's like 40, 41, 45, 50, and she say, she was with this man for this, and the man has left her, cheated her, and she says, I've spent this amount of time, I've done this. What have you invested at 24 years? You are a student and you are an entrepreneur. You get, and
sex is also invested.
What has she invested?
That said, she don't give a no. So
who has not invested sex before or intimacy or anything? Who has not invested? So what are we talking about that? Because when I look at Mary's age, I was like, Mary, you are just 24. What is wrong with you? But we have people like that who have all baggages, emotional issues that culminate. Issues that they have not dealt with. I think part of the reason is that they have not dealt with all those emotions. So when things like that happen, there's a trigger. It just comes to the surface and they begin to remember all the things. And one of the things I basically, when I was watching 50 Shades Darker or 50 Shades of Grey, is that every time Anna wanted to get Christian to talk about his past, because she felt that the fact that he has repressed a lot of the things that he has gone through is one of the reasons why he's doing what he's doing. Because it got to a point that even Christian would never have contemplated marriage. But because of the way Anna was able to walk with him in the relationship, he even proposed. He even got married. He still even didn't want children. But even with that, he still had children.
Yeah.
At the end, she had a child and she was pregnant with another child. So that means that somebody may start with a certain perspective, but transcend. He's used to being in a dominant and this, but now he has never had a vanilla relationship, the way they call it. A relationship where you take her on a date, a relationship where you buy flowers, a relationship where you do this without you going to the red room, without you using a handcuff. He didn't have all those. He knew that was all he knew, and that was all there was in relationship. Until Anna came to tell him, you could have something else, and you could even have something better. But I remember when Mrs. Robinson met Anna, she made a statement. He said, you are not the first woman to try to save Christian. You cannot save him. Because Elena herself thought that is the only way that Christian can live. And Christian also thought that was the only way he can live. Because even the Lela made a statement to Anna. He said, you can't give him what he needs. She told Anna that you can't give him what he needs. So when Anna was talking with Christian Grey, Anna said, I can't give you what you want. He said, no, I will not be needing those things. He said, what if it is good for you now? What if later you start craving for those things? How am I going to meet up? I don't know anything about dominance. I don't see your need for you to suppress a woman, for you to smile. But it got to a point where Anna now started to understand that this is the kind of man she had. It got to a point, it was Anna that was asking, spank me, do this, do that. But it was not the revengeful, the one that is consumed with anger and all. It became a loving kind of thing, because there was a change of perspective. So when you're in a relationship with somebody, anything can happen, but you also have to understand life is progressive. Anything can happen. You may meet another person in another culture. You may meet somebody from another country, like me who met somebody from another country. So things can happen, things can change. So don't belabor yourself. Don't tie yourself to that experience. Meanwhile, there are so many experiences that you can have and say, okay, yes, you could try and say, this is worth me staying with, or yes, I can't have this, but this is what I have, and this is what I can be with. So don't get stuck up. To me, don't get stuck up in that experience and think that it is over for you. You understand? Wow. This discussion, dear, I love. We are still talking suicide, so we are still going to have more discussions on this issue. So thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Rose. It was a very fruitful discussion, and I know that everybody out there, if you are listening to us, suicide is not the answer. It is not the answer.
It's not.
If somebody leaves you in a relationship, you don't need to commit suicide. You are important. You are beautiful. You are confident. You are all of that. Even though the person tried to make you feel like you're not that, we on the Fixer Show, we are telling you that you are more than that, and there is more that you can do with your life. So thank you so much for coming, Rose. If you're not following us, follow us on the Fixer Show. And if you are not following us on our YouTube, follow us. I will say, we go and see. We go take that cup. We go take that cup, whether we like it or not. We go take the cup. So it is bye-bye from the Fixer Show. Until we come your way next time. Keep it locked.
Yeah.
See you.